Picture this, an endless darkness. Suddenly a blinding flash. The universe explodes into existence. This is the Big Bang. It happened nearly 14 billion years ago. The universe was a hot, dense soup of energy and particles. It was an environment of unimaginable chaos, yet within this chaos, the seeds of our existence were sown. As the universe expanded, it cooled. Energy began to condense into matter. Tiny particles formed, the building blocks of everything we see around us. These particles came together, drawn by an unseen force, gravity. Over eons, these particles clumped together, forming vast clouds of gas and dust. These clouds, called nebulae, would become the nurseries of stars and planets. Our journey begins in one such nebula, a swirling mass of cosmic dust and gas. This nebula, vast beyond our comprehension, held within it the ingredients for our world. It's hard to imagine that something as grand as our planet could originate from such humble beginnings. But as we'll see, the universe is full of surprises. This is where our story truly begins, the story of our home, the planet Earth. A story that spans billions of years, from the fiery chaos of the early universe to the emergence of life and the rise of civilization. Join me as we travel through time, witnessing the awe-inspiring events that shaped our planet and led to our existence. Within the swirling heart of the nebula, gravity worked its magic. Dust and gas, remnants of dead stars, began to clump together. Imagine a cosmic snowball growing larger and larger as it attracted more material. This was the birth of our solar system, with the sun igniting at its center. Around the newborn sun, the remaining material continued to swirl. Pulled by the sun's gravity, these particles collided and stuck together. Over millions of years, these clumps grew larger, forming planetesimals, the building blocks of planets. Our Earth was one such planetesimal, a hot molten ball of rock, constantly bombarded by asteroids and meteors. Imagine a fiery inferno with rivers of molten rock flowing across the surface. Volcanoes erupted with unimaginable fury, spewing lava and gases into the atmosphere. This was Earth in its infancy, a hostile and unforgiving world. Yet within this chaos, the stage was being set for the miracle of life. Over time, Earth began to cool. The bombardment from space lessened, the surface solidified, forming the first continents. Water vapor, released from the planet's interior, condensed in the atmosphere, forming clouds. Torrential rains lashed the surface, filling the basins that would become our oceans. As Earth cooled, the rains continued. For millennia, water poured from the sky, filling the planet's vast basins. These were not the oceans we know today. They were hot, acidic, and filled with dissolved minerals from the Earth's crust. Yet, within these primordial waters, something extraordinary was about to happen. Imagine a world covered in a vast steaming ocean. Volcanic islands poked through the surface, spewing gases and ash into the atmosphere. The air was thick with carbon dioxide and other gases, a far cry from the air we breathe today. Yet in this alien environment, life found a way. Deep within these primordial oceans, near hydrothermal vents spewing heat and chemicals from the Earth's interior, the first signs of life emerged. It wasn't much to look at, just simple, single-celled organisms. But these were our ancestors, the pioneers of life on Earth. These early life forms were incredibly resilient. They thrived in the harsh conditions of the early Earth, harnessing energy from chemicals in the water. Over millions of years, they evolved and diversified, gradually changing the planet they called home. The early oceans were teeming with these simple life forms. They were microscopic, but their impact was monumental. They released oxygen as a byproduct of their metabolism. Slowly, over eons, this oxygen began to accumulate in the atmosphere. This was a turning point in Earth's history. Imagine the scene: the shallow seas, bathed in sunlight, teeming with microscopic life. These tiny organisms, through their simple existence, were changing the very air we breathe. They paved the way for more complex life to evolve. The rise of oxygen led to the formation of the ozone layer, a protective shield that blocked harmful ultraviolet radiation from the sun. This allowed life to move out of the oceans and colonize the land. It was a pivotal moment, a giant leap for life on Earth. This period, known as the Archean Eon, spanned a vast stretch of time from 4 billion to 2.5 billion years ago. It was a time of immense change, from the formation of continents to the emergence of the first life forms. The stage was set for the next chapter in Earth's story, a chapter filled with an explosion of life in all its forms. Section 5. Cambrian Explosion, Life Finds Its Colors. About 540 million years ago, life exploded in diversity. This period, known as the Cambrian Explosion, saw the emergence of major animal groups. Oceans came alive with new creatures. Trilobites scuttled across the seabed. Jellyfish drifted through the water. Worms burrowed. Early fish darted. It was about incredible diversity of body plans and adaptations. Creatures developed shells, skeletons, eyes, and limbs. The Cambrian explosion was a pivotal moment in the history of life. It marked the beginning of the Paleozoic era, a time when life flourished in the oceans. These early creatures evolved, giving rise to the ancestors of all animals today. Section 6. Reign of the Giants, the Age of Dinosaurs. As the Paleozoic era gave way to the Mesozoic, a new group of animals began to dominate the planet, the dinosaurs. These magnificent creatures, some small and agile, others towering giants, ruled the Earth for over 180 million years. Imagine a world where the ground trembles beneath the weight of massive sauropods, their long necks reaching for the tops of trees. Predatory theropods like the fearsome Tyrannosaurus rex stalked their prey through dense forests. Pterosaurs, with their leathery wings, soared through the skies. The Mesozoic era was a time of great change. The continents, which had been drifting for millions of years, began to break apart, forming the land masses we recognize today. The climate was warm and humid, ideal for the dinosaurs. Giant ferns and coniferous trees covered the land, providing food and shelter for these prehistoric giants. The dinosaurs' reign was not without its challenges. Volcanic eruptions and asteroid impacts periodically rocked the planet, causing widespread extinctions. Yet the dinosaurs endured, adapting to the changing environment and evolving into an astonishing array of forms. Section 7. In the Shadow of Titans, Rise of the Mammals. While dinosaurs ruled the Earth, a new group of animals was quietly evolving in their shadow, the mammals. Small, furry, and warm-blooded, these creatures possessed traits that would allow them to survive the cataclysm to come. Imagine a world where the night belonged to the mammals. While dinosaurs lumbered through the day, these small creatures scurried through the undergrowth, foraging for food and avoiding the notice of their giant neighbors. They were adaptable and resourceful, traits that would serve them well in the future. Mammals evolved from a group of reptiles called synapsids, which lived alongside the dinosaurs' ancestors. They were warm-blooded, had fur, and gave birth to live young. These traits, while seemingly insignificant at the time, would prove to be crucial for their survival. For millions of years, mammals lived in the shadow of the dinosaurs, occupying ecological niches that their giant counterparts couldn't. They were small and inconspicuous, but they were evolving, developing the traits that would allow them to inherit the Earth. Section 8. A Planet of Ice, the Ice Ages. About 66 million years ago, a cataclysmic event occurred that would forever alter the course of life on Earth. A massive asteroid, estimated to be 6 miles wide, slammed into the Yucatan Peninsula in what is now Mexico. The impact triggered a global cataclysm, wiping out the dinosaurs and paving the way for the rise of mammals. Imagine the scene, the sky ablaze with fire, tsunamis engulfing coastlines, earthquakes shaking the planet to its core. The impact threw up a massive cloud of dust and debris that blocked out the sun, plunging the Earth into a long, dark winter. The dinosaurs, unable to adapt to the sudden, drastic change in climate, perished. So too did many other plants and animals. The world was a very different place after the impact. The reign of the dinosaurs was over, and a new era had begun, an era dominated by mammals. The extinction of the dinosaurs created an opportunity for mammals to diversify and evolve. With their giant competitors out of the picture, mammals spread across the globe, evolving into a dazzling array of forms to fill the vacant ecological niches. Section 9. Humanity's Ascent, from Caves to Civilization. After the dinosaurs, mammals evolved and diversified. Among them were the primates, our ancestors. They had grasping hands, binocular vision, and large brains. On the African savanna, early humans began their journey. They used tools and developed bipedalism. Their brains grew, enabling complex thought and communication. They learned to control fire and developed language. About 10,000 years ago, they discovered agriculture. This led to villages, cities, and civilizations. The rest is history. Let us be good stewards of our planet.